Hello fellas, thanks for joining me on yet another video. I'm knocking about like the BBC at the moment. I just thought I'd done some obviously different projects while I've not had any internet, well not decent internet anyway. So I thought I'd just do some catch-up vids as I'm going. I apologise for the husky voice, but like most of us in the UK, I think I'm on my third round of colds at the moment. So please just bear with me. And I'll try and make this as quick as I can. You know that's not going to happen really, but I like to say it, lull you into a false sense of security. Right, finally finished the Mercury, as you can see. I'll just zoom in slightly if I can. As I say, a name is the Mercury. Like most of my ships, I give them, I take a historical ship name that bears some resemblance to the ship, and obviously go with that. But as I've said before, you can obviously if you're going to fight either in a historical scenario or even just pick a point in history, sometimes that ship wouldn't be around and you might have to change the name. I am going to actually magnetise all the bases. I've got some stuff coming for that, and then I can stick like a nameplate on the back of the base and remove it and put another one on, or change it, whatever. As suits. So the Mercury here is at quarters, which means the guns are run out and she's ready for battle. I'll just turn around so I've given this a satin varnish base on the sea. I'm not 100% sure about it yet. I might put it back to actually a matte finish. We'll see. But yeah, I've given this a yellow sides and actually yellow inside the bulwarks as well. So I've not done what you see a lot of people doing. All the raised gun ports are always painted red, and that wasn't really the case. As I've said to you before, it could be whatever the captain decided to paint his ship, to be honest with you, although he might be advised by the Admiralty or even ordered to. Quite often it just didn't happen. So I've given this one an overall yellow coating, a dark one. She's flying 2 ensigns, if I can sorry, you can see right on the top there, the main mast. She's flying 2 ensigns. Sometimes they could, when they were going into battle, they had plenty of time to obviously manoeuvre into position. So what they'd often do is run up 2 or 3 ensigns. Hence the old saying of nail your colours to the mast. Is what happened was the ensign that's on the gaff there at the on the mizzen courses right at the end, they'd quite often be shot away, and it would look to the other ship like you were surrendering, and you lowered your ensign to surrender. So obviously the feeling was, if you either put them wherever, they'd often be put at the end of the jib. That's a pointy end sticking out on the left there. They'd literally tie one up there as well. I just didn't want it to look like they were celebrating somebody's birthday, so I've just left the 2. I've also got another ship which I put up on Facebook and the blog, I believe. Another 74, but a Royal Naval ship. Let me just see if I can get this one into view slightly. If you did catch it on there, I apologise, but I hadn't put a video up of her. So this is the Colossus, and she's got the usual. She's not at quarters. She's got, I believe it's called full sail. I might be wrong, but as you can see, her sails are deployed, so there's a bit more rigging to do on those. I wanted to get her in shot as well. Again, this is a bit of an anorak really. This isn't probably going to work. As usual, I'm filming on a really congested table. Let's just get my pointy stick again. Royal Navy ships. This is the mizzen mast here, and they were always brought back down to here, to the gaff here, on this mizzen course, to actually tie back these sails, these yards here. On the French ships and other nationalities, they actually brought it into the main mast and not down here. So just a little point of point of view there. Now you'll notice on some of my ships it's probably completely different. I do try and stick to the rigging guide that you can buy off Langton's, but sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. I did find the French one was more difficult because I'd already put these running lines in here, so it was a bit of a cat's cradle trying to get with dabs of super glue on the end, trying to get your brush bristles in between. Where the Royal Navy ones are obviously a lot easier because you've got you're not constrained by other running rigging. So the Mercury was built in 1783, and she was captured and burnt by the Royal Navy at the Battle of the Nile in 1798. It was captured by HMS Alexander, I believe. And she was more or less a total loss, so they run her aground. Well, I'm not sure if the crew run her aground, because they were literally right up to the shore anyway. I'm not sure if they run her aground or the Royal Navy run her aground and burnt her there. But she was burnt anyway, as a total loss. Colossus on the right here, she was built in 1787, and she took part in the Battle of Groix or Groix, Groix, classic Gav. I can hardly pronounce and spell my own language, never mind anybody else's. The famous Battle of Cape St. Vincent in 1797, she was there as well. And while the rest of the fleet recuperated at Naples, she was sent on a cruise off Malta. And when she come back, she was already in a fair state. Then bits missing. And I believe it was, I'm not sure who it was. It might have even been Nelson. She had to put some of her cordage in one of her anchors to other ships in the fleet that had lost them in the Battle of Cape St. Vincent. So she was then sent back home. Unfortunately, she only got as far as the Isle of Scilly when she was caught up in a big gale, and she went into the roads at St Mary's Roads and Scilly Isles, and tried to ride the storm out, but unfortunately she was run up on the rocks. One man was lost overboard as he was taking some soundings, but thankfully the rest of the crew survived. If you would like to know a bit more about Colossus particularly, there's a nice video of her on YouTube. They've been diving the wreck for the last couple of years, and they did a documentary because they've actually got some of the stern gallery, which is here. Bearing in mind this is a generic 74, so the stern gallery here. There's some carvings down the side on the real one, and they've treated her like they did with a Mary Rose. They put some of that in fine mist and spray to preserve her. Because later on in the very early 1800s, the Admiralty kicked back on doing such ornate carvings and gold leaf and all that type of stuff. It was costing too much money, so you find a lot of the ships had fairly plain stern. Yeah, they'd still have the gallery at the back for the admiral or the ship's captain to walk up, pace up and down on, but there wasn't the ornate carvings, things that preceded them. As usual with these, the sails are done. Literally every one of my ships, I have not yet dropped on a particular sail colouring I like. I don't like to see them bright white, so I tend to put them more dingy. This is probably a bit over dingy, and I think I use Vallejo light wood on the running rigging there, and this is a lot lighter. Again, when I get to about my 20th ship, I might actually have hit on a something I'm actually happy with. But at the same time, it makes them all a bit individual, so I'm not that fussed. So there we go, guys. We're running at a 10-minute video again. Woohoo! We're looking at HMS Colossus on the right and the French third-rate 74-gun Mercury on the left. So thanks for tuning in. I am going to do, if anybody's interested, I'm going to do a how to stick one of these together, and go through the whole thing from beginning to end. I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to be rigging her while filming, because I think that is a step too far. But I'll do little sections, and then show it being done. So thanks for stopping by and taking a look. I'm sorry I've been umming and ahhing through the whole video again. I tend to do these off the cuff. I have 5 or 10 minutes, which turns into like 20 minutes as I'm doing one of these videos. But you know, while I've got something to shout about, I might as well shout it out on YouTube. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for stopping by, taking a look, and I'll catch you again on another vid. Cheers.